Rev up your engines. I got a Porsche 911 Turbo, and the owner's going to try to convince me that it's not an endless money pit. Let's see if he can do it. Now, it's a convertible. There's no arguing. It's a beautiful car, right? But, I mean, overall, I have to say, it was a money pit for the original owner, because he paid about $140, and this guy bought it used for $30. So, that tells you the hilarious thing is the original owner had it for like 80-something thousand miles. Second owner bought it. Within a very short period of time, he got rid of it because he thought that there was something going on with the clutch. Well, the guy who bought it is no stooge for two reasons. He figured out how to fix it for $100 himself, and two, this is his toy. His everyday driver is a 2007 Camry. So, he is not a stupid man. Turns out that they have this stupid accumulator and the clutch works off of power steering, and all he had to do was spend $100 in some fluid, and it fixed the problem. The other guy just went out and bought another Porsche. People that buy these cars obviously have to have a lot of money. Original guy paid $140, he paid $30. If you really want one of these, why not take advantage of it if you understand one thing, and that's this: maintenance. He maintains his own vehicles and he does a good job. He's bought cars, he's still a young guy, but he'll buy cars that have problems, fix them himself, save a bunch of money, right? You're planning on buying one of these things used and having the Porsche dealer service it. You better have 15, 20 grand a year to just throw out into the thing. He only paid $30 for the whole car. They're beautiful cars, right? It is water cooled, so it's a lot quieter. You see the old air-cooled 911s? Air-cooled engines are by their very nature loud. That's just how they are, right? This is kind of an interesting water-cooled engine. The main reason they did it, well, there's two. One, you can get a little more horsepower out of them, but the main reason for these are street cars. You can race them if you want, but they're street legal cars. They would never have met any of the anti-pollution standards worldwide, especially the Europeans, without going to water cooled, because they're less polluting engines. By their very nature, air-cooled engines tend to pollute more. They're running at a higher temperature. Air-cooled engines, they should really call them oil air-cooled, because the oil takes a lot of the heat and dissipates it. At running speeds, they work perfectly fine, because you got a lot of air going through the oil coolers, hitting the fins of the engine to cool them down. The main problem that Porsches and the previous little bitty Volkswagens had was, on the Volkswagen 4-cylinder, number 3 piston would always burn out because the air didn't hit it too good because of the design of the car, especially at slow speeds. So you're sitting there in your little Beetle idling while that was wearing out your number 3 cylinder. If you were always going 60 miles an hour, it didn't bother it that much. He's owned it for a year and he's only put a couple thousand miles on it. Now, at that rate, hey, he could be driving this thing quite some time and having some fun with it. An interesting thing about these 911s is, ages ago, the Germans wanted to get rid of them because they said, oh, those air-cooled dinosaurs, we want to put in a big V8 water-cooled engine Porsches, but Americans love these things. So they all said, no, you got to keep making these, blah, 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 and they make them and they sell them. There are enough rich people in the world that'll buy these things, and of course, a lot of them, let's face it, are snobs, so they can't have one that's 6, 8, 10 years old. That would show that they're poor rich people. Take advantage, buy it when they're done with them. Now, we're going to check this thing out, and I still say it's an endless money pit for the original owner. As for him, he's only had it for a year and 2,000 miles, and he likes playing around with it, and like I said, he is not going to race it. So, you never know. He puts little bits of mileage on it, he might be able to have quite a bit of fun. Because if you use the common phrase, speed costs money, how much do you want to spend? This thing's already fast enough, right? He doesn't need to soup up for speed. He's done wheels and different stuff to make it look a little snazzier, but it's so fast, he doesn't need. Look, it goes 189 miles an hour. Right? He has no plans on driving it that fast. He hasn't tried it out to see how fast it went. So, something like this, hey, you could probably have a lot of fun. These things are made in Germany with high technology. And it doesn't matter how old they are, they will probably go just as fast, 15 years old, as they did when they were new. Only they'll only do it for a short period of time, then they will blow up. So let's check it out, my fancy scan tool, and see if it's got 1,000 codes like these often do, and most of them don't mean much. Here we go. Look, it has a real key. So, turn the key on, and of course, I forgot, Porsches are always on the left side. The Germans are strange. And the old hotel's warming up. Great scan tool. While we're waiting, we can see there's the mileage, 92,772. We bought it with 90,000. Check to the vehicle. We'll do a standalone diagnosis. And then we'll do a topology scan. While it's doing it, you can see it's a 6-speed manual transmission. Of course, it's got power windows. Also has a convertible top. It's got a tachometer in the middle because it's made for racing. Speed speedometer's over here. You can see it's got 16 trouble codes. Trouble codes all over. The only thing that's green are the top and the seat and the suspension system. Those are the only things that don't have codes. We'll do the AC, for example. It's probably going to have some squirrely little computer codes. Interface with instrument cluster, CAN timeout PCM for the AC. So, squirrely stuff. We'll erase them. These things are so high tech. Make your head spin. But his AC's working, so stuff like that. You cannot be a fanatic with a 10-year-old Porsche about minor codes like this. To check engine lights not on, doesn't have any particular running problems. You're going to find a lot of squirrely electronics as they age. Let's look at the ABS system, see what that code is. And message 1 missing. Same thing as that other one. Communications failure. You're going to find a lot of that stuff on these things as they age. Loose wires, weak batteries. If the battery was replaced and nothing was reset and it had a problem in the past, that will not go away until you use a machine like this to erase it. We'll go back and look at some more. Now it does say it had a misfire in cylinder 4 and cylinder number 5. That happened in the past, so we'll erase that. And I won't bore you with these other codes for airbag and stuff. They're all communication codes, so get rid of them all. Now unfortunately I can't access all the data because Porsche is indeed a scumbag company. Check this out. Access live data. It says, this is a quick link to motor true speed. Please contact the dealer to purchase it. Well, I'm not buying it. Just have to take it for a spin. And of course, in a German car, you have to turn it off the whole way, then start it. It will not start if you have it sit in the middle position. Now, like I said, this has water-cooled head, so even though it's got almost 100,000 miles, it's a pretty quiet vehicle. You don't hear all that giant clanking noise that you're going to hear in an air-cooled one when they have 100,000 miles. Some of them sound like a sewing machine coming down the road. So a lot of people say, oh, this is a horrible year, 2004. Yes, it is, if you get the non-turbo. Now, normally I tell people, don't buy a turbo, it's going to wear out faster, blah, 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 right? In the case of this, you better buy a turbo because the stupid bearing in a non-turbo breaks and then they blow up. So, hey, it's worth knowing. If you're going to buy one of these things, do some serious research before you do. Because generic advice would say, don't buy a turbo. In this case, the turbo doesn't have that bearing that's going to make it blow up. Now, here we go on the road. Now that we're out of the subdivision, well, we can't go too fast because there's people in the way, but you get the gist of how this thing runs. And if you didn't notice, we're in second gear. His traction control kicked in. Once it started going, these are fun to drive. Now, yeah, they're endless money pits if you don't take care of them and really drive the living heck out of them. But as a toy, his regular car, remember, is an 07 Camry. You could get one of these if it chose to be in good shape. He got a great deal because the guy thought the clutch was going out. Cost a lot of money to put a clutch in one of these things, right? And it was just this stupid actuator because of the power steering system that it used to help the clutch. So there you have it. A really fun toy to drive around if you don't mind rolling the dice and shake it out. Now, don't think he just found this thing in 2 seconds. He looked at a bunch of them, a whole bunch. He found ones that had been wrecked 6 or 8 times. You ever look at one of these? Look around, take stuff out. If it's different colors all over the place, you know, it's a Franken Porsche, built from different ones that have been wrecked various times. Look at the paint in the sun. This was basically a one owner. The second guy only had it a short period of time. Then the clutch went wonky and he didn't want to mess with it, so he got something else. And he was smart. He found out it was only a $100 part to fix it. So, do your research. You want a toy for 30 grand, you can find one in shape like this, and you drive an 07 Camry as your regular car, hey, be my guest, try it out. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.